All right, I'd like to call this August meeting of the Louisa County Planning Commission to order. Ms. Johnson, could we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Barlow?
Yes.
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Mr. Painting?
Here.
Mr. Disisway?
Here.
Mr. Dickerson?
Here.
Mr. Quarles? Mr. Goodwin?
Here.
Mr. Percy? Ms. Michael?
Thank you. Please rise for the invocation led by Commissioner Dickerson, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Painting.
Let us pray. Father God, thank you for bringing us together tonight. Give us guidance and wisdom as we make decisions and recommendations to our Board of Supervisors. Bless and protect each and every one gathered here tonight as they travel home once the meeting is over. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very well. The Chair would entertain a motion for approval of the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments on the agenda as presented? Very well. Ms. Johnson, could we have a vote for approval of the agenda?
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Mr. Painting?
Yes.
Mr. Disisway?
Yes.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yes.
Mr. Goodwin?
Yes.
The agenda is approved. The Chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the July meeting found on packet pages 2 through 6.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Do we have any comments on the minutes of the July meeting? Very well, Ms. Johnson. Could we have a roll call vote for approval of the minutes?
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Mr. Painting?
Yes.
Mr. Disisway?
Yes.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yes.
Mr. Goodwin?
Yes.
Very well, the minutes are approved. Next on the agenda is the consent agenda. We do not have a consent agenda tonight, so we'll move on to the public address period. Public address period is a time when anyone here tonight, any member of the public can address the Planning Commission on any topic that is not a public hearing this evening. So I'm going to open the public address period. Public address period is open, and ask if anyone would like to address the commission on a topic that's not a public hearing. Come forward, you'll have 3 minutes, and if you represent an organization, please let me know. And Ms. Rayburn, I believe I have a card for you. I think you're speaking about something other than the campgrounds. So, very good.
I can see what I wrote.
Very good. Thank you.
I'm Rebecca Sue Rayburn. I live at 1665 Holland Creek Road, Patrick Henry District. I've communicated by email twice with Mr. Quarles and have not received an answer, or even a, I got your message, so I'm here to say what I have to say. My husband and I bought a lot, a 5-acre lot in 1974 and built our home. And over the next few years, by 1980, we had bought the side-by-side lots, so we'd have the privacy we were seeking to live in the country. I'm concerned about the proposed changes to the land use regulations, lot size, setback, road frontage required, all those things, because I want to be able to let my children have those lots and use them to build on. And I also want perhaps the ability to divide some of this property, you know, family right, for my grandchildren. So I worry about their ability to use the land and what their frontage requirements might be. So if they don't have enough frontage, are they not going to be able to use it at all? And I'm concerned about the setback requirements. 400 feet is a very expensive driveway. And on some of my lots, that might push it back to the back line, and then I couldn't build a house because I'm on somebody else's property or whatever. So I have questions. Will property be grandfathered in? So if it's pre-existing lot, will it be allowed to exist as it is? Will the grandfather in the division possibility, a family subdivision or family division? And do the proposed changes make it possible for the average citizen to even afford to live in Louisa County? I know you're concerned about development and too much growth, but you've let every business that wanted in, data centers, warehouses, business parks, come to Louisa County. There's a cement factory at Ferncliff that nobody in Ferncliff wanted, but we got it. And a plant of some sort back there behind the Exxon. So I heard that there was a survey sent out or given. I never received the survey. I never heard about the survey. My neighbors never heard about the survey. And so I get all kinds of mail from the county. This survey could have been sent to me. I could have actually answered it, as could my neighbors. So that I'm not happy with. And then I heard that 2,000 people answered the survey. Well, how many people live in Louisa County that you might be basing your judgment on 2,000 opinions about rural landscape? Anyway, that's my concern. I have difficulty driving at night. I did not want to come tonight because I don't want to go home in the dark, but I'm here. And I guess I'll have to come to the planning, the public hearing. Maybe my neighbor can bring me, I don't know. But anyway, that's all I have to say. And would you tell Mr. Quarles I expect to hear from him when I communicate with him? I think that's pretty shoddy representation.
Thank you,
done.
Ms. Rayburn.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to speak during the public address period? Very well, I'm going to close the public address period. Public address period is closed. And move on. I don't believe we have unfinished business at this time, so we move on to the public hearings. First public hearing is Aggie Forestal District Proposed Addition Gold Mine Creek. Ms. Brakeful.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I will start tonight by addressing just a few things I know you're going to ask me. So the first being is that if it pleases the chair, you have a lot tonight. So I'm going to skip the location descriptions as they're in your parcel and just hit the most important things. And I also want to start by letting you know that this set of applications is just over 3,500 acres. So that's what you will be recommending tonight if you choose to. And I know Mr. Hicks is going to ask about the purpose of the application. I just want to preface this by saying this is a substantial amount of individual applications that have been lumped together for your ease and my ease. So we didn't have 20 or 30 public hearings tonight. We just had, I think it's 6. So I can't answer that question for everyone. There is a healthy mix of preservation, a healthy mix of eminent domain in each application. So I know that's a question that I'm asked on every one, so I just wanted to clarify that before we began. So to begin with the Gold Mine Creek application, all applications tonight have been recommended by the Ag Forest Rural Preservation Committee, in case I forget to say that again. Gold Mine Creek is landowners Clifton Farms LLC, Lucy Coleman William et al., Mansfield LLC, Samuel Kelly, Georgie Fells et al., Joyce Talley, and John R. Miller. It is 20 parcels on A1, A2, R2, C2, and C2. It's 638.48 acres. The uses are timber, fruit, and crop production. I believe that there are individuals present, landowners present. I don't know if they want to speak, but I can stand for questions at this time.
Would anyone on the commission like to ask any questions for the staff at this time? Very well. I'm going to open the, trying to figure out how to do this correctly. I'm going to open the public hearing on this. The public hearing is open. Typically, the first speaker in the public hearing is the applicant. We have many applicants here, or several applicants. Would the applicant like to, do we have a single applicant representing this, all of this?
Not necessarily. I don't know if
Very well.
want to.
Would any of the applicants for this like to speak on this? Very well, we'll dispense with that, and we'll move on. Would anyone like to speak on this public hearing? Very well, seeing no one, public hearing is closed, and we'll bring it back to the commission for questions. Any questions from the commission? There being none, the chair is going to turn the chair over to the vice chair. And I'd like to make a recommendation for approval, or that we recommend approval to the board of this addition to the Gold Mine Creek Agricultural and Forestal District.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Johnson, a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Mr. Painting?
Yes.
Mr. Disasway?
Yes.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yes.
Mr. Goodwin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Very good. Move on to the next item, which is AFD for Ellisville. Ms. Brakefield.
Yes, sir. So again, this one was recommended by Ag Forestal Committee. There is an original application and an amendment application. On the original application, the landowners are Fred and Rebecca Massey, Lancelot LLC, Fred Massey et al., Robert Downing trustee, and Rebecca Massey. It's 10 parcels zoned A1, A2. It's 848.778 acres. Uses are hay, crop, timber, pasture, cattle production. The amended application is the DMP Timber Trust and DMP Timber LLC. 2 parcels zoned A2, 158.89 acres. Use is timber. I can stand for questions at this time.
Any questions for staff at this time? Very well. I'm going to open the public hearing. Is the applicant present? No. Would anyone like to speak on this AFD? Nope. Very well. Then we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission for any comments on this AFD. There being none, the chair would normally look to Louisa representative for a motion here, but he's not here with us tonight, so the chair will entertain a motion from the commission.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Dickerson.
I make a motion, we recommend to the Board of Supervisors approval of this amendment to the Land Use Development Regulation and the addition in the Ellisville Agricultural and Forestal District.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Very well. Ms. Johnson, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Mr. Painting?
Yes.
Mr. Disasway?
Yes.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yes.
Mr. Goodwin?
Yes.
Very well. That is approved. Next up is the Trevilian Station Agri-Forestal District. Ms. Baker?
Yes, sir. So the landowners in this application are Amick Farms, Louisa LLC, Farm Branch LLC, Steve and Amy C., Susan Fletcher and Dwayne Ryder, Charles and Stacy Fletcher, and the JJP Timber Trust. It is 20 parcels owned A1, A2, and R2. It's 674.68 acres. The uses are pasture, timber, livestock, and crops. I'll stand for questions at this time.
Any questions for staff at this time? Very well. We'll open the public hearing. Public hearing is open. Is the applicant for this here tonight? Would anyone like to speak on this public hearing tonight? Very well. Seeing none, public hearing is closed, and bring it back to the commission for any discussion. Very well. Normally, I would look to the Louisa or the Patrick Henry representative for a motion here, but since they're both absent, the chair would entertain a motion from the commission.
Mr.
Mr. Chair, I recommend that we make this recommendation to the board to approve.
Very well. We have a motion to recommend approval to the board. Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Ms. Johnson, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Mr. Painting?
Yes.
Mr. Disasway?
Yes.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yes.
Mr. Goodwin?
Yes.
Very well. That is approved. Next up is the South Anna Agri-Forestal District.
Yes, sir. So South Anna Agri-Forestal District has an application, an original application and an amendment. The original application landowners are Charles and Katie Kelly, Charles Miller et al., Claudia Perkins, Margaret Perkins and Gary King, Margaret Tejan, Austin Miller, Charles Miller, and Walter and Ashley Madison. It's 12 parcels zoned A1, A2. It's 480.53 acres. The primary uses are firewood, timber crops, pasture, horses, hay, forestry, and livestock production. The amended application is Anita and Roberts and Cecil Bickley. It's 6 parcels zoned A1, A2. It's 165.846 acres. Uses are timber and crops. I'll stand for questions at this time.
Any questions for staff at this time? Very well. The public hearing is open on this. Is the applicant here? Very well. Would anyone like to speak on this public hearing? All right, seeing none, public hearing is closed, and bring it back to the commission for any comments. Hearing none, again, this is Patrick Henry, so the chair would entertain a motion from the commission on this.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Hicks.
make a motion, we approve this, the South Anna Agricultural Forest District to the board.
Do we have a motion for, to recommend approval to the board for this, this action? Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Ms. Johnson?
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Mr. Painting?
Yes.
Mr. Disasway?
Yes.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yes.
Mr. Goodwin?
Yes.
Very well, that's approved. Next up is the Indian Creek Ag and Parcel District.
Sir, so Indian Creek Ag Forestal District, landowner is Wendy Madison. It's 3 parcels zoned A2. It's 339.719 acres. The uses are timber and crops, and I can stand for questions at this time.
Are there any questions for staff at this time? Very well. I'm gonna open the public hearing. Public hearing is open. Is the applicant's not here? Is it? Very well. Would anyone like to speak on this application? All right, seeing none, public hearing is closed. Bring it back to the commission for comment. Any comments on this? Very well. Then, Mr. Goodwin, the chair would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we recommend to the board approval of this addition to the Ag and Forestall District.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Do we have any further comment? Very well, Ms. Johnson?
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Mr. Painting?
Yes.
Mr. Disasway?
Yes.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yes.
Mr. Goodwin?
Yes.
Very well, that one's approved. And finally, the Patrick Henry Ag and Forestall District. Ms. Brakel?
Yes, sir. So this is an original application and an amended application. The landowners on the original application are Donald and Linda C., Ronald and Patricia Poindexter, Ronald and Michael Poindexter, Ellen Carroll and Daniel Poindexter, Vicky Southall and Faye Stewart, and Larry and Betty Hopkins, and Piney Acres Farm LLC. It's 19 parcels zoned A1, A2. It's 344.0137 acres. The use is cattle, pasture, hay, timber, and crop production. On the amended application, there's 1 parcel zoned A2, 15.56 acres belonging to Patty Laurel. And I can stand for questions at this time.
Any questions for staff at this time? Very well, then we'll open the public comment, public hearing. Public hearing is open. Is the applicant here? The applicant is not here. Would anyone like to speak on this application? Very well, public hearing is closed. Back to the commission for comment. Any comments on this action? Then the chair would entertain a motion from the commission on this.
Mr. Chair, I move we recommend to the Board of Supervisors the addition to the Patrick Henry Agricultural and Forestal District.
I have a motion to recommend approval for Patrick Henry Ag Forestal District. Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further comments? Ms. Johnson?
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Mr. Painting?
Yes.
Mr. Disasway?
Yes.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yes.
Mr. Goodwin?
Yes.
And that is approved as well. Ms. Brakeful, thank you so much. And I'm tired.
Well, just wait till
You speak-
October.
You're speaking fast. I'm tired.
Just wait till October. We have 9 for you in October, so we're very excited about that.
Yeah, you better start working on your auctioneer voice.
You should have heard me at Ag Forestal. I was
Exactly.
reading it really quickly, so thank you.
Thank you very much. Very well, we'll move on to rezoning 2026 for Matthew Bird request. Mr. Cole.
All right. Good evening, Chairman and members of the Planning Commission. My name is Ian Cole, and I serve as an associate planner with the Louisa County Community Development Department. Before you this evening is a rezoning application, REZ 2026-03, submitted by the applicant Matthew Bird and the owner Wayne Bird. The request is to rezone from agricultural A2 Growth Area Overlay District to general commercial C2 Growth Area Overlay District. The subject parcel is 3 acres, shown in the blue box before you, and is located at the intersection of Zachary Taylor Highway and Route 208. The parcel is further identified as parcel ID 28-109 in the Mineral Election District. The 2040 Louisa County Comprehensive Plan designates this parcel as mixed use in the Lake Anna Growth Area. Staff believe the proposed rezoning would align with the surrounding area's mixed-use character that comprises of mainly commercial developments and some agricultural parcels. Furthermore, the proposal mirrors the 2040's plan's objective of broadening the county's tax base through the establishment of new businesses. On a broader scale, the parcel is situated between 3 major projects: the Commercial Gateway Project to the west, the planned unit development of Wares Crossroads to the south, and the Cut-Along Resort development to the east. Looking at the property's zoning history, the 1969 zoning map shows that both the subject parcel and the surrounding area were originally zoned agricultural. Since that time, the subject parcel has still retained its original zoning classification. As part of the review process, community development staff evaluate the potential impacts of proposed developments on public facilities and services. Staff's facilities analysis for this rezoning request is provided on page 204 of your packet. The applicant has stated their intent with this rezoning is to use the existing structures found on the parcel as office/retail spaces. To mitigate its impact on public services, the applicant has voluntarily offered a proffer that limits the number of uses that would be permitted if the rezoning is approved. The proffer statement is included in enclosure B, with the permitted uses highlighted in enclosure C. Any use not highlighted will be excluded under the applicant's proffer. The neighborhood meeting for this rezoning was held on July 8th. There were no members of the public in attendance. This concludes staff's presentation. Staff has included site photos on this slide for the commission's review and is available to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for the staff at this time?
This one.
Mr. Hicks.
Is the applicant's intentions to use the structures that are on site, or is the applicant's intentions of rezoning, removing the structures, and going back with one of these listed proffered structures?
So the applicant has stated in their application specifically that they intend to use the existing structures found on the parcel. The one you see before you, the main structure, is residential, and the one on the side that I believe is on the right hand on your point of view is a non-residential structure. But they intend to use those two for office/retail spaces. with
Wonderful.
One of these permitted uses.
And in the future, if that building was dated or needed to be replaced or updated or so forth, the applicant under this new zoning would be able to take that down and conform within these proffers for whichever structure they decided complied, correct?
If they intend to demolition the buildings or renovate them in a sense.
Any other questions for staff? Very well. Thank you, Mr. Cole.
Yes,
We're going to open the public hearing. The public hearing is opened. The first speaker for public hearings is customarily the applicant, if the applicant would like to. You'll have 10 minutes if you wish to use the time. If not, that's fine.
Only if it helps.
Very well. Would anyone else like to speak? Apparently, it's not necessary then, but thank you. If we need to, we'll have questions for you, though. Very well. The public hearing is closed, and back to the commission for comments. Any comments from the commission? Very well, hearing none.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Goodwin.
I think I do have a question. And this is a question for the applicant. As you are largely surrounded by the new development next door, have you had conversations with them?
Yes, sir. My cousin Wayne, the owner, has had multiple conversations with,
Okay, and have they gone?
very well, very well.
Okay. Thank you, that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thanks. Any other comments or questions? Yeah, I'm going to turn the chair over to the vice chair. And I'm going to make a recommendation for approval for the Board of Supervisors for rezoning 2026, this change from agricultural A2 to general commercial C2.
Thank you very much. Do we have a second?
Second.
Very good. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Johnson, a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Mr. Painting?
Yes.
Mr. Dissensway?
Yes.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yes.
Mr. Goodwin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. All right, next up is amendment to Chapter 86 Land Development Regulations for Campground Considerations. Ms. Buckler.
Good evening, Chairman Dissensway and members of the Planning Commission. The last public hearing this evening is an amendment to Chapter 86 Land Development Regulations relating to campgrounds and camping considerations. At last month's meeting, Deputy County Administrator Christopher Kuhn reviewed the proposed amendments with the Planning Commission. Those include definitions to include a major and minor campground definition, which each have certain criteria, revised definition of a campsite to be in an approved campground, added a definition of recreational shelter, amended the matrix table to provide the districts in which a major and minor campground would be allowed, amended 86-111, use of travel trailers and campers for dwellings prohibited, amended 86-114 for short-term rentals, added, as I said previously, the matrix, which added minor campgrounds by right with restrictions in A1, A2, the A1 Growth Area Overlay District, and the A2 Growth Area Overlay District and the Resort Development District. Added major campgrounds with a conditional use permit in the C1, C2, C1 Growth Area Overlay District, C2 Growth Area Overlay District, and it is already required in the A1, A2, A1 Growth Area Overlay District and A2 Growth Area Overlay District, and added additional clarification on storage and limited recreational use on private properties. That concludes the presentation. If you have any specific questions about the amendments, I believe the Planning Commission reviewed those last month and had no changes to the proposed amendments as they were presented.
Any questions for staff at this time? Very well. Thank you, Ms. Buckler. We're going to open the public hearing. Public hearing is open. I have a card here, so we're going to start with a card. And then after that, if you'd like to speak, you can come forward. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Let me know if you represent an organization. That changes the time allotment. When you step forward, please state your name and your voting district. First up by the card is Dale and Mary Ellen Turner. So I'll let you all decide who's coming up. Very well. Welcome to both of you. It's still 3 minutes.
We won't talk football this evening, even though we could.
I already gave him a little talk about that. I'm gonna kick him tonight.
My name is Dale Turner, and my wife's name is Mary Ellen, and we live at 891 Kents Mill Road in the Louisa voting district. I'm writing to express serious concern regarding the proposed changes to Louisa County campground zoning ordinance discussed at the recent planning workshop. During the session, it was noted that enforcement changes are being considered because the county operates on a complaint-based system. However, these proposed changes stem directly from an anonymous defamatory letter submitted to the zoning administrator that specifically targets Mary Ellen and me. The letter makes explicit allegations of misconduct, claiming on 2 occasions that we are paying someone to look the other way and that outcomes depend on, quote, who you pay. Accusing individuals and county employees of bribery alleges a serious criminal offense under state and federal law. Anonymous accusations containing unsustainable criminal allegations should not serve as a catalyst for county-wide policy changes, nor should significant taxpayer funds and staff resources be expended pursuing them. Standard policy should dictate that unverified, unsigned complaints are either set aside or referred to the Louisiana Commonwealth's attorney if criminal conduct is alleged. Without accountability for the accuser, anonymous tips can be easily weaponized for personal grudges or private disputes, forcing local government to spend taxpayer dollars chasing unverified claims. We strongly urge the county to maintain a complaint-based enforcement structure that requires legitimate signed complaints from identified Louisiana County residents. Ordinance revisions driven by anonymous attacks set a damaging precedent for all property owners in Louisiana County. And Mary Ellen and I want to thank you for working on this and for everything that you've done. And we would suggest that we would like this taken care of before it gets going too much further, because well, y'all hopefully you all read the letter that that anonymous person wrote. But anyway, we thank you and keep up the good work.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak? Please come forward. And again, state your name and your voting district.
Sammy Kelly, Mineral District, and I'm representing Christopher Run Campground. I'd like to make a statement and voice a couple of concerns that I have concerning the proposed definition and requirements for campgrounds. The existing campgrounds in Louisiana are not the cause of the new rules and should not be affected by them. We all went through a long process to establish the current campgrounds and have complied with both state and county law. It seems that any recent laws addressing temporary housing in Louisiana County negatively affect the existing hospitality businesses that did not contribute to the issue. I am concerned that if these new campground definitions and requirements are accepted, people will be led to believe that having a minor campground is a simple way to make money. I wonder if they realize that there are a lot, not only county requirements, but state requirements that must be met. State code for campgrounds currently require additional building and signage, as well as bathhouses and dump stations. The state does not separate minor and major definitions for campgrounds, and I think the proposed definition for Louisiana campgrounds may be misleading to those who think that they have a minor campground on their property without complying with state laws. I understand why people in the county would want to start a minor campground. With taxes, groceries, and other expenses going up every year, it seems to be an easy way to bring in additional income without a lot of work. However, to take revenue away from the existing campgrounds that had to put in a lot more time and effort to establish their business. Finally, the state requirements for sites per acre are different than what is proposed by Louisiana County. Can the county's ruling be enforced if the state requirements are different? Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak? Very well. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Bring it back to the commission for comment.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Goodwin.
At an earlier meeting, I was through some elongated story accused of moving the goalpost. And just in the interest of public transparency, I spoke with that gentleman and I reminded him that one of the commandments addresses bearing false witness. And the other one is, the reason we're here is there are no goalposts now. So it's not a matter of moving them. We're here because we don't have any. And I want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, very simply, this whole thing is a misnomer. To call this topic a campground when what was brought from us doesn't meet any one of our imagined use of a campground. We think of buddies or a family getting together for a weekend or a week. This is about using structures indefinitely for the purposes of work or other purposes. So I think the whole thing, having this called a campground ordinance it's lacking. Another concern that I have is that we are once again mixing commercial and residential land use. And I thought we beat this horse to death when we went through short-term rentals. And the county did not want to get into commercial use of residentially used property. But here we are again, and we're not only not addressing it, we're expanding it. That bothers me. The fact that we're proposing these, and I'm addressing what we're calling a minor campground, that we're proposing these without a CUP but by right, means that neighbors don't get a chance to state their concerns or their support. They don't get to talk about privacy, their own. They don't get to talk about neighborhood safety. They don't get to talk about what it does to the value of their property next door. All valid topics that neighbors ought to have a chance to talk about. But the real reason that I want to talk about this minor campground is that we, at least I know I am guilty, we form an opinion about these ordinances based on the people who bring them to us and are represented. And we tend to characterize the ordinance by those people. These are responsible people. They're doing it in a responsible way. They're renting it to responsible people that in most cases are vetted by one of our largest businesses. Truly vetted, it's a security installation. But I want to suggest to you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and members of the public, the bucket rarely leaks from the top. It usually leaks from the bottom. You look at the unintended consequences of this ordinance, and I believe that we are encoding a whole new category of land division. A whole new category. If I have 3 acres of land, I find it very interesting that I can't bring in 2 brand new manufactured homes and park them on my property. But I am allowed to bring in 2 unroadworthy vehicles on the back of a rollback and drop them in my backyard forever and ever I'm in. That's wrong. There's something definitely wrong with that. And again, we're basing this on our perception of responsible people, renting to responsible people, and doing it in a very responsible way. But remember where the bucket leaks, at the bottom. I cannot support this ordinance as it is written and will not. I have no problem with the major, quote, campground, because they are campgrounds. Now, there are some people there that are renting those spaces because they work here in the county, but they are being operated as a campground. Minor, quote, campground, not so much. And I will wager you that there's not anybody sitting at this dais up here, and very few people in this audience, that can't tell a story about somebody within 3 to 5 miles of your house already leaking from the bottom of the bucket because we have no goalpost, and this is a sorry excuse for a goalpost. I can tell you about an RV that has been parked over 8 years, less than 2 miles from my house. There's an orange extension cord running from the house to the RV through a window. Number one, you're not charging the RV through a window. And number two, if it takes 8 years to charge it, I'm not sure. I think I would agree with them never having moved the thing in 8 years. But that's where it's going to leak. And I'll say something snarky. I really debated with myself about whether to say it. The comprehensive plan addresses preserving the rural nature of the county. This will not be doing that. This will be creating the rural nature of the Appalachian part of the state as we stereotypically know it. I will not vote for it, Mr. Chair, or members of the commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goodwin.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to bring up, there was another email
Yes.
that you had, and I wanted to make sure that it was made part of the record from Joshua Turner.
I was going to mention that, but thank you for bringing that up. Yes, this was sent to all members of the Planning Commission. We all have a copy up here, and it's rather extensive, so rather than read it, we're going to make sure it's attached to the minutes of the meeting as part of the public hearing on this. Yeah. Thank you. Very well. Are there other comments? In the intervening time from the last meeting to this meeting, looking at some of the things in here from the perspective of not campground, but workforce housing, which I think is a lot of the direction Commissioner Goodwin was going down. I can understand the requirements here for having a campground in the sense of what a campground would normally entail with camping and recreation and things like, as the gentleman has already spoken to us about Christopher Run, the types of thing that a campground typically would be, that you would think of. And I think a lot of what's developed here works well for that. However, if we're going to use this for workforce housing, then I think there are things here that may be an overkill, or maybe just not right for workforce housing for making the requirement. I won't disagree that campground minor is I don't know that I ever really understood that one in all of this, but campground major, if we keep that definition, I think the first question is whether or not the minimum of 10 acres is necessary. I understand that part of that was driven by the landscape and buffer requirement of 200 feet. And the other piece of that question is, if this is workforce housing, the typical workforce housing that we have for the typical workers here at the aforementioned large industrial complex in the county, those workers tend to either work or sleep. And I don't know that 200-foot buffering is necessary for that. That may be a rather large buffering requirement. So that may allow for the reduction of the 10 acres necessarily. And most of the workers don't require, if you're going to put in a recreational vehicle or a camper to live in during an outage at the power plant, you don't necessarily need the acreage that you need here, you represented here. You could put those in reasonably close together, and they don't tend, from what I've seen in my years in working in the industry with folks that live in that kind of housing for outages that travel around from outage to outage, we don't necessarily need that much space between them. They tend to go home, eat, go to bed, because they're working 12 hours or more a day. And generally it's not an issue there. So I think, and I've been wondering in, Mr. Goodwin's kind of maybe said it a little bit better, but I've been wondering in the intervening time now, do we need a campground definition and a workforce housing definition? It's a separate item with some separate requirements for each one, so that campgrounds truly are regulated as campgrounds. And apparently there are some state code requirements for campgrounds that maybe we didn't have reflected in here that are not in alignment if the gentleman that spoke earlier is correct, which I would assume running a campground, he would be correct in this. So I wonder if we need some more work on the campground major side of this, and do we need a separate piece of this for workforce housing that fixes that issue as well, so we don't, and Mr. Goodwin, in your discussion, we don't blend these things together and come up with something completely different than what we had in mind.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I want to apologize to you and to the commissioners and the members of the public. I got excited. I'm very passionate about this because this goes against, more than anything in my 11 years of being on the Planning Commission, of what the vision is that I thought we had for Louisa. It's going in the exact opposite way. And yes, I got passionate, and I am apologizing to all of you for what is probably best described as an outburst. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Haney?
I would certainly suggest that we take a little harder look at what we have and see if we can clean this up and maybe better what we set forth here. In light of what Mr. Goodwin has presented, and the Mr. Kelly and Mr. Turner, what they spoke of it all, I think there's a lot of concerns here from ownership and people that run these that we could take a better look at and maybe provide something more accurate, better detail.
Very well, then it sounds to me like there may be a motion to table this for further work. Is that a correct statement?
Do you need it as a motion, sir?
I think we would need that as a motion, yes, so we can
Mr. Chairman,
dispose of it properly.
I would like to make a motion that we table this to a later date.
Should we table it to the next meeting?
Want to do the next meeting?
Make a motion that we table this to the next meeting.
Very well, before, well, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, moved and seconded.
Discussion.
Yes, discussion.
And Mr. Chair, what about the public hearing aspect? Are we closing that, or when we bring it back, will we be able to reopen it?
I'm afraid the public hearing has already been closed. So,
Mr. Chair, and council, if we separate these two and do campground and workforce housing, does that allow us then as a separate legislative, not legislative, but commission piece of business to open a public hearing again? I think the public should be able to hear it if we're going to bring it back significantly different.
Come up with a completely new, then it would have to be, new proposal would need to be advertised if it's too different from the one that's here.
if we were to make two separate proposals, one for campground, one for workforce housing, I would think workforce housing would be a brand-new entity.
It's
that would
brand
get-
new.
That would
It's-
get discussion. Campground, I suppose we would be under the existing,
If it's still similar to this one, if you're planning on doing something that's extensive change, I don't know what the change is going to be, how extensive the change is, but if it's an extensive change from this one, then
yeah.
it would need to be
I would
advertised.
suggest giving you and Ms. Smith the opportunity to discuss this. I really would think the public ought to be able to speak on this since we are revamping it, and they deserve a right to speak on whatever we're going to bring back.
Mr. Dickerson.
Would it be better if the motion was amended to forward this to the Board of Supervisors with a recommendation to reject it and reevaluate it as workforce housing and campground? So that we could have public hearings on both of those issues at a future time once we rework them both.
You could have the board.
You know, whatever works. I'd just like for the public to be able to speak.
Well, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I don't,
Mr. Barlow.
I think you can reopen a public hearing if you want. It just means that it's gonna be re-advertised.
Yes, it's
but
be advertised, public advertisement. Yeah, I said you can re-advertise.
Okay.
Just because you've
If we can
closed it,
if we can reopen it, then we'll do
Yeah.
that. Yes,
Okay.
re-advertise it. So, Ms. Buckler, are you taking notes?
Okay.
We'll need to re-advertise, yes.
have one question, just for clarification, because it sounds like there may be substantial changes that we need to make to address the issues that you all have brought up. Is this something that we could bring up and do a work session on and then reschedule a new public hearing?
All right.
To make sure that because if we bring back another document and it doesn't address the issues
Right.
that the planning commission has brought up, we're gonna be right back in the same position again next month.
Absolutely.
And I think maybe to bring another document, work with, if it's still Mr. Painting and Mr. Quarles as part of that, work group, on some more changes and bring it back into a work session format again next month. Then we would know going forward if we're headed in the right direction.
Right,
that makes sense.
Does that work?
very well. So,
Legally, I just want to make sure. Okay.
Works legally, yes.
so the motion should be, that should still be a table or should be,
Well, we're gonna table it, now, but it's gonna
Yes.
be for us to bring it back next time, work session.
very good. So
That was a public hearing.
swear on that. Okay.
No, it's not gonna be a public.
Work session in October.
September.
September's full, isn't
September. It's gonna be a big work session.
All right.
Gonna be a lot of work.
One in between. To clarify on this, in this work session, what we're looking at is a couple things on both sides, minor and major. But I do agree with George, and I've looked into it this month too, but I didn't wanted George to deliver that. He's put a lot of work and thought into this. And there is so many ways this can be taken advantage of in a complaint-based county and minor. And I've just been sitting there all week long thinking of all the ways this can be taken advantage of. So when we're taking this back to review, are we looking at removing minor altogether and just going with a major definition and qualifications? Because when I think of a minor or workforce housing, I think an ADU is substantially greater in so many ways than this, but it's just from a structural standpoint. But are we looking at
ADU?
Hmm?
ADU?
Accessory dwelling unit.
Accessory dwelling, thank you. I didn't click in, sorry.
And those, and our requirements on those, blending, correct me if I'm wrong, but they need to be no greater than 50% of the square footage, conditioned square footage of the main house. So if somebody has a house on 3 acres of land and that house is 2,000 square feet, the max ADU they could have is 1,000 square feet, which is actually pretty nice for a workforce housing that's mainly sleeping there and then going to work. It's much suitable workforce housing than a camper. So when this goes back and look at, just to be clear, are we looking at potentially removing the definition of minor altogether and refining major in this revision?
I would think from what we've heard, evaluate removing minor.
Okay, that was a better choice. Worse.
Evaluate major campground and evaluate workforce housing as a separate item.
Thank you.
Make sure that the ordinances that we finally produce address each of them properly.
Thank you for clarifying that for me.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me clarify.
After this meeting?
Yeah, after, we can talk after the meeting. Mr. Goodwin, does this plan address your questions and concerns?
Absolutely, and I appreciate it.
Certainly.
I do appreciate it. As I said, I don't think this is ready for prime time.
Very well. Mr. Dickerson, yours as well? Yes. Very good. All right. Then the chair would entertain a motion to table this item for further work on clarification or potential removal of, or evaluation, the removal of minor campground and further clarification between major campground and workforce housing to be represented in a work session in September.
You want me to remember that? You want me to regurgitate that?
So moved.
So moved.
That's
Absolutely.
what you need. Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Ms. Johnson?
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Mr. Painting?
Yes.
Mrs. Bissisway?
Yes.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yes.
Mr. Goodwin?
Yes.
Very well. Thank you. Next item is new business, and I don't believe we have new business at this time. So now, discussion items, Ms. Buckler? We'll combine discussion with reports. How's that?
That'll work. You had in your report, there was going to be a public hearing next month on a rezoning for Maple Creek Estates. That has been postponed. I'm not sure when that'll be coming back. There are no Ag Forestal District applications for September. They decided to take a month off, but you will have 9 so far in October.
Busy month.
Coming up. A lot of work session items to go over in September, finalizing the zoning amendments with TDR information and the campground information.
So Ms. Buckler, do we have any public hearings in September?
hearings in September.
Then maybe what we should do is have a little bit of an extended work session in September. And
I mean, we could, I'm not
That
sure if
way
we
we
can
can-
extend the work, I mean, we could start the work session at 5, work till the regular meeting, and then extend the discussions into the regular meeting under discussion
well,
items.
but it's whether or not we need to have the regular meeting.
That's
is
the
what I'm
question.
saying.
Just a
If we
work
don't,
session.
if we have no public hearings, we may not have a need to have the public, or to have the regular meeting. So we just have a work session and have that run as needed,
That's a work session.
as a work session.
Yeah.
Is that, can we do that?
Work session. You're thinking there's gonna be no public hearing?
That's what I just asked.
There's no public
Mm.
hearings?
Mr. Chair, the bylaw does allow us to do that.
I
We
believe
just
so.
don't have a regular meeting and you're calling a work
Calling a
session.
So
So
and
it's
that
covered in the
provides time-
bylaws.
That provides time for the two pieces that need to be looked at.
And we can confirm that, and we'll let you all know.
Let's work towards that path, and that'll give us, it'll expedite the work we have and give us time to do it right. Good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Anything further? No? Very good. Then the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. We are adjourned.